here. You're here and you're having a baby. Can I get like an applause for having a baby? I mean, it's such a big deal. Like, I get very excited when I get to start a new class because the experience of having it's all of you in the room, but I feel all these little babies. Like I was saying hello to some of you and just like, oh, the baby wants to be said hello to. So what I really want to do is take a moment to start us off right, which is to celebrate that you are having a baby, everything that you did to get here. So if you just turn to your partner and like hug your partner or high five your partner and say, just like, good job on the baby making, however the baby landed here, yay for you, yay for your baby, and like high five your baby, but don't like smack them, just, a little high five for your baby, and then like look around the room and give your neighbors, people behind you, next to you, another little high five, because, good work, everybody had sex at some point. Everybody, you all had it going on at some point, and we're so glad that your babies are here. So I am delighted, and really that's what this class is all about, right? This class is all about your baby, and a lot of times people come to classes and they're like, well, I got to take this class because I've got to figure out how to give birth, and what am I going to do? And this class is the how-to class, but the intention behind the class is to create an experience that is amazing for your baby, where your baby gets to be born into the world and feel loved and welcomed and safe and just so supported, and that the birth that brings your baby into the world is a birth that creates a pathway for them to live, to be who they're meant to be, right? Born, be who they were born to be. And that's what I see my job as, is to help you have an experience that not only supports your baby to go on this path of their life, but also to have you have an experience where you feel triumphant no matter how your baby is born. And I really want to emphasize that, triumphant. Where as one of my dear friends, Angie, said after she gave birth, her baby came out and she was just like, I rocked it, I rocked that birth. And I want for you to have an experience that no matter how your baby ends up being born, that you feel like it went the way that it needed to go, and this was how your baby was supposed to be born, and it's an occasion to celebrate, and that it's an occasion to it's an experience that you get to share with your child every birthday for the rest of their lives, this incredible experience that you had in the process of growing them and bringing them into the world. So this class is very much about the transformation, right? The transformation of birth and what's possible in birth. So many people come to class because they're like, oh, I gotta deal with how it's gonna feel, and I gotta get through it and get over it. And raise your hand if you were like, I gotta take a childbirth class, so I feel like I can handle it. I did read your questionnaires, so I know that many of you are having that experience. How's this baby going to get out of me? And I see my job as not only to give you skills and tools, but moreover to give you really a mindset that is going to shape your experience. And it's always interesting. People often ask me. Why do you do this? What's your point? Why do you do this? And it's hard to describe that I have this it's like a need. It's this like a fierce need to create a change in how babies are born. And you guys are all set in kind of how you are. How you were born has already happened. The imprint that created in you and how that set you on the course of your life has already happened. And your baby is fresh. And what's possible when a child, when a person, when a human being comes into the world feeling that it was on their own terms, where they initiated their own birth, where they initiated, they were ready. They said, I'm ready. And it happened because they were ready. that there's something that occurs in the foundation, right? You think about like how a house is built and the foundation from which a house is built. If the foundation is really strong and solid, where the builder really knew what they were doing, right? Then you have this house, and things might, the paint starts to chip, and things like later on, but you're solid from the foundation. So I want to be able to support you in having an experience where your baby has this incredibly strong foundation that no matter what happens later on in life, that the baby knows that ultimately this person later on in life knows that they are going to be taken care of, that they're going to be safe, that they have power, that they have strength, that they have autonomy, that they have a particular role or something to fulfill in this world. And I saw a bumper sticker once that said, "Peace on earth starts with birth." And I do feel that way. I do feel that when babies come into the world and they can be parented with consciousness, with love, with care, being very, very well protected, initially, that they're able to accomplish so much in life because they have the roots, right? They have the stability, and then from the roots they can grow their wings and they can soar out into the world and do their work in the world. So that's ultimately why I teach this class, so that your baby can be who they were born to be, and that you, both parents, can have an experience where there's I could say a transformation that takes place. I can also say a healing that takes place. Many of us have been through things in our life that could use a little healing. And birth, because it's such a powerful experience, can be a vehicle by which other experiences in your life get healed, where you restore a sense of personal power, where you reclaim a sense of identity or a sense of your place, in the world, or your purpose in the world. This is not uncommon for people to have massive shifts in their identity after they become a parent. Massive, massive shifts. So I get excited. I get really excited, and you're going to see that, right? You're going to see that in my teaching, and my wish is that it becomes infectious. And that as we go through the class, that you're gonna start to feel that sort of that energy of what's possible, and that you're gonna start to connect with yourself in the energy of what's possible. That you're gonna connect with your baby in the energy of what's possible. You're gonna connect with other people in your environment or in your community that are connected, that are really connected in that way. So, can I get a yes on that?
Yeah.
Yes. Right, you're like, okay, did I sign up for the right class? Am I in the right space? So hopefully there's a big yes to that. And so as we're going through this experience together, and I do like to call it the Yes to Birth experience. Like the name of the company is Yes to Birth, and for those of you that didn't know that is the name of my company. It's Yes to Birth. And I like to call this the Yes to Birth experience. It's not like a class. I mean, I would say it's a class, but I really want you to have an experience where you get really connected to what matters most to you. And that what matters most to you, I know, of course, without saying, it's having a healthy baby. We already know that. So besides that you can start really getting connected to what matters to you in addition to that it's like, I don't know if any of you ever did this in your relationship with your significant other, where maybe when you decided to commit to each other, that you had a discussion about what your values are, what you're going to dedicate yourselves to in the relationship. Some people would call that, if you're getting married, your wedding vows. Maybe you made some vows and you're like, well, can you agree to that? And can you agree to that? I want us in this class for you to start getting really clear about what you are vowing, what you are committed to, what is your heart's desire, so that any way that your baby ends up needing to be born, right, and I say that, you'll hear me say that again, because even though I'm like the natural birth lady, like the hypnobirthing lady, whatever, I don't even know what people refer to me as these days. I find it always fascinating. My intention is that, again, that triumphant experience, that amazing experience, that you feel empowered, as you have your baby. And that as you get clear on what you're committed to, what it is that you're vowing, that those vows become a kind of like, do any of you ride a bicycle? What's the thing called at the center of the wheel?
Hub.
The hub, exactly. The hub of your birth experience, that's what you're committed to. Those are your vows. And then you have the spokes, right, that go out. And that's all the stuff that happens. And then out here is what it looks like in the end. This is like what the tire is like, what it looks like in the end. So if you stay committed to what's at the hub, whatever this looks like out here can be an incredible experience. So I've